Stay at Home Dad, Chapter 19. The new minivan showcased its handling as I tore out of the school parking lot, irritated and on fire. I made last-second touchdown grabs. I faced down arrogant teenagers. I changed dirty diapers and plucked them. There was no absolutely zero chance I was going to let Sharon Ann and Deborah impeach me. My stomach rumbled, and it wasn't just from the anger. I skipped breakfast, and my little confrontation had apparently spurred my appetite. So I headed toward Rose Petal Square. Rose Petal Square was actually a street. The original downtown area had actually formed a square of a rectangular area, but the powers that be had wanted a town square that would draw locals and lost tourists. So they come up with the brilliant idea of naming the street Rose Petal Square in hopes of confusing everyone. And it worked. Right in the middle of the 6 block length of Rose Petal Square was Delilah's, a diner that also served as the unofficial town hall. You wanted to get the suburban parts of Rose Petal. You had a little breakfast and eavesdropped at Delilah's. It was also where my father, an official town council member, he had breakfast every day. I found him at a back table with Cedric Cobb and Sheldon Monaghan. He raised his eyes as I approached. Well, well, if it isn't my son, the stalker. I grabbed the empty chair next to him. I would stab you in the eye with that spoon on the table if you keep it up. Cedric chuckled and Sheldon laughed with his mug of coffee. Here, you got a little get-together tomorrow night, too, Cedric said, pointing at me with a fork full of eggs. Jesus, how do you already know that? All 3 men just shrugged. What's all this business with Shayna? My father asked. There's no business with Shayna, I said sharply. It's garbage. A straight in order ain't garbage, Deuce, Sheldon said, then took a sip from his coffee. Sheldon Monaghan was my father's oldest friend. They played ball together at Rose Petal back in their day, and they've remained close ever since. Sheldon had played his role as the town's most prominent realtor until an 11-year-old stint as Rose Petal's mayor. With his shock of white hair and ever-present bifocals, he looked about 10 years older than my father. He compensated for that by dating women half his age. No idea why she fired her, I told him. She called me and asked me to come over. Nothing happened at her house. I'll give Gerald a call, Cedric said. See if he'll spill anything. Joe Cantner was the judge in Rose Petal. Normally he occupied the chair I was sitting in. I appreciate that, I said. The waitress came and I ordered pancakes, bacon, and orange juice. What Julianne said, my dad asked. About what you expect? Told me to stop doing stupid things. Smart girl, that Julianne, my father said, accepting, of course, her choice in husbands. The other 2 men nodded. Your dad was asking about this thing old Benny was involved in, Sheldon said, adjusting his bifocal. Know anything? I know Odell Barnabas is about as dumb as a dead fish, he said with a frown. That boy is several crayons short of a full box. We all laughed. He was trying to buy a couple of acres out near the lake, the mayor said, resting his elbows on the table. Problem was he didn't have any money. He grinned. Wanted to know if he could finance without a down payment. He said he was working on finding investors. Did he have any clue what he was doing, I asked? Did he even have a plan drawn up? A design of the building? Anything? My guess would be that he had it all drawn up on a couple of cocktail napkins. Let me ask you guys something, I said, looking at each of them. Benny ever strike you guys as being dumb enough to get dragged into something like this? Not really, Cedric said, speaking for his friends. But Benny, he didn't exactly have it easy since he might hit you. He shifted his weight in his car. He didn't handle it as well as you did. My food arrived, and I dug into the pancakes. I wasn't aware that I handled the end of my football career all that well. I sat around and moped for 6 months, nearly flunked out of A&M at the end of my first year, and put on about 20 pounds, most of it from there. I was only after I met Julianne that I got my act together and stopped feeling sorry for myself. To be totally honest, there were days when I saw kids going to practice, or I caught a game on TV that I still had a twinge of self-pity. But if he gave this fella Barnabas any of his money, Cedric said, shaking his head, well, that would have been an all-time law for even Benny. Not your problem, son, my father reminded me. Now, those tough women had wrecked Lamont. They are definitely your problem. The three of them laughed loudly, and I stiffed for a smile by shoving more pancakes into my mouth. They moved on to other topics. I loved hearing them talk. I always had. The ease of their friendship was evident in their words. The way they needed each other and every other resident of Rose Petal was born of shared affection. There were much worse ways to age other than to sit around yakking with good friends. Sheldon sat up a little straighter as I was polishing off my bacon. He adjusted his glasses. You want to have a chat with Elder Barnabas? I remember Julian's advice. No, I guess not. Don't see the point, really. Cedric started to laugh and look down at the table. The Major jutted out his bottom lip. Well, Bruce, you may not have a choice, but because he just walked in and he's heading our way.